Hey, getting ready for college applications, discover some great schools like Bentley University in Massachusetts, and now you have to go venture on to Common App. Yeah, Common App will ask you statements about who you are. Now, this is an application to over 1,000 schools, and the majority will ask you some statements, and that scares people. Why? Because a lot of people are like, what? I have to put my words on paper. Oh my God, this may decide who I am and where I'm going. Take a breath, take a breath. Don't let all those ideas and anxiety take away from you being you, and you being honest is realizing that this process is looking at many variables, some that are in your control and not in your control. So we're going to add some toolkits on one variable, and yes, it's an important one, that helps to highlight or explain your grades, and more importantly, who you are. Not your life story, but a highlight of who you are, whether it's your thoughts, your experiences. So how do we begin? Well, what this episode here is all about is using toolkits, a brand new toolkit that wasn't around last century. So, but also honoring a toolkit that's been around for centuries. So let's take a deep breath together, and then let's kind of explore what we can do with this. Now, this is to talk about how we can use AI in a beneficial way to brainstorming, and how AI can really take away from you. No differently if you have a tutor write it for you, or you have someone else take over your ideas. Being your authentic self. Yes, your real voice in who you are. So let's kind of take an example first of what a lot of people are going to do, right? A lot of people are going to go in here into ChatGPT, right? And just pretty much says, please write me an effective personal statement for colleges showing my great interest in business and how my sports life have benefited me in high school, and that I am a hard-working individual. Boom. So here we have a statement. Let's give you a pause to kind of read it. For a young age, I've been captivated by the world of business, its strategies, dynamics, and its potential to drive meaningful change. My journey into the business realm began with participating in our school's business club, where I eagerly took on roles that ranged from organizing events to leading projects. One of the highlights of my high school career was spearheading a community outreach program. Sports have played an integral role in my development. As a member of a varsity soccer team, I've learned the importance of discipline, perseverance, and teamwork, the demands of balancing intense practice. The challenges and triumphs on the field have also mirrored the ups and downs of business ventures, whether it was strategizing for a crucial game or overcoming setbacks. My dedication to both academics and athletics has cultivated a mindset. As I look towards the future, I'm excited about the opportunities that lie ahead. Now, as you are reading this, you may think, dang, that's good. Where is the examples? Where can I see that student, visualize them on the field, in the classroom, who I want to hang out in, the cafeteria, in my dorm room? I can't. I hear a lot of words and ideas that is well sculpted, but at the same not memorable, because I can't see the reader. I'm telling the reader, not showing the reader. Don't believe me? Connecticut College, a great school in Connecticut, also meets full needs, is a campus that shows you sample essays that other students have done. So now let's read somebody else's story and see how that works. Every person who truly knows me believes that I was born in the wrong century. They call me an old soul because I'm a collector, attracted to books, antiques, vinyl records, and anything from the 80s. When we moved into our first American house, I was excited to decorate my new room. The first thing I knew I needed was a place to organize my own cherished possessions I've collected throughout my life. The top row of my books in Portuguese that I brought from Brazil, they were passed down to me by my great-grandmother when she died. Most of them are old poetry books and I've handwritten notes from her. These books are strong connections to my Brazilian heritage. They also reminded me of the time when I was growing up in Brazil. The second and third row has books that I use to learn English and some of my classics like the whole Harry Potter collection. I remember students to this day who wrote about Harry Potter in the early 2000s. At the bottom of the bookshelf, I have some of my most beloved items. The 1937 Remington typewriter was a gift from my grandfather. I look forward to adding new books, new friends, and a wide variety of experiences to my bookshelf. Here is a great example of I, as an admissions reader, gonna pull out ideas when I go to committee to really talk about the greatness about this person. She goes from Brazil to Boston Tea Party, Alex and Hamilton. She doesn't even need this last sentence. She could just drop it right there. I wonder how my countless letters have been written with this typewriter, period. Versus this one. So this is to show you, if you're applying to a competitive school that's really high selective, here you're going to go for someone who's showing the reader versus someone telling the reader. Okay, but I did mention, how can I use this in an effective way? Well, let's just say you were brainstorming some ideas, right? Just jotting some ideas just to brainstorm. So let's go here and ask, how can you help me outline some significant ideas to highlight my high school story, let's spell that correctly, story, to college admissions, using specific examples and my voice. Now, the computer does not know your voice unless you have an account and you've done it quite often. But here, now it's giving me an idea of a hook, right, with vivid scene. Here, briefly introduce your experience, talks about, hey, overcoming challenges, janitorial work, migraine headaches, family problems, but most importantly, also love for math, teaching and tutoring, speech. So this is helping me to write ideas, and then you just start writing. And then if you've written your ideas on here, then guess what you could do? And some of you guys have done this on other systems like Grammarly and other things like that, where you go and let's just see if we use this statement right here. Yes, it's beautiful anonymous one that is showing the reader, and just say, how effective is this statement for college admissions? Any recommendations you have for me? Now, it's important not to have too many editors on your statement, but it's nice to have a quick statement if you're working on it. Showing the strengths, recommendation while your statement briefly describes your book show, right? You might want to connect how these experiences have shaped your academic personal aspirations, right? Like, what has this helped you? Tie your personal experience and cultural background to your future goals. Don't focus too much on future. But remember, this is AI, right? So, but this is a great way to help show ways of making this stronger. Hey, revised sample ending. Notice I didn't put down the word count, but this could help you to brainstorm an outline. And notice, remember, I just had just a few ideas here, but the ideas have to come from you and start from you. So then you can go and address your Super Bowl commercial, your highlight story on here. So the key thing is go find those great schools, do those searches, have that balanced list, go and do your best and show your authentic self, do your best. And any school know will be lucky to have you. So make sure that they have your voice and show that in different ways with your teachers for the college recommendation as well, with also interviews for those schools that have it. Just be you, and let's go.